then you have Parts A and B. Have you considered Part C? Medicare Part C.
Hello, welcome to Human Animal Audit Corner. And of course, oh, excuse me.
There are three things you should do. One, call the number on your screen.
Yeah, I need quiet. Okay. Yeah, like I said, welcome to Human Animal Audit Corner. As you can tell, I changed the name of my programming here on YouTube. That's right. So, yep, calling all Scientologists, everyone in the outside world is willing to give you a helping hand, including the ones from the SPTV and Aftermath Foundation will help you with monetary aid. And today, I am at my crafts table. And guess what's also different? I decided to have my Chromebook a little bit up close so you can see what I'm doing and see what I'm drawing. See this one? Instead of me holding it up and bringing it over, I decided to have the Chrome a little bit closer so you can see what I'm working on. So I'm going to be making more changes on what we're going to find out. So I'm going to get started painting my vase. Of course, as you know, crafts and art therapy is a way to relax you, and it's real stimulating. Now, I'm not an art therapist. I'm not a therapist of any kind. If you're interested in any art therapy or any mental health, go to the link down below and go to one of the links, press it or click on it, and you'll be there. The one that I highly recommend is NAMI. So let's get started on my vase, which is a beagle. Here we go now. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, the next color I'm going to use is, let's see if I can find it. The brown color. All right. And that would be orange and brown. So mixing two of these colors together. All right, there's one, which is the yellow. And two, which is the red. Oh yeah, here we go. Alrighty. And now we're gonna mix up these two colors to make it into orange. Alrighty. And then we're gonna add the black, which would stir it into a brown color texture. So here we go. All right. All right, so now I'm going to mix up the colors. All right, there we go. Okay. Now this is going to go into a brown color, even though it might not look it. So. All righty. Now, besides Amir coming out of Scientology, just recently in the past, there were other people that left years before Amir came out of Scientology. One of them was Mary Me Gone. I think that's the way you say it. Anyways, okay. And she was the original that lived to tell about her experience by getting thrown overboard when L. Ron Hubbard actually did it. Yes, that's right. He actually did this to us women and children. No exceptions. Everybody was treated the same way when he threw them all overboard of a ship, the fleet, the free ones, whatever it is that was called. Of course, I would think he's one of them that he called the free winds. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, and she lived to tell about it with her experience. And she got thrown off the ship. And some say that when women got thrown overboard, women and children who were thrown overboard were at the sea level of 13 or 14 or 15 feet. Some with men saying that they were thrown overboard with 30 to 40 feet of water below sea level. But however, other reports claimed that Hubbard would throw them overboard that was really lined with the ship, which it can be any feet that they have been thrown overboard. It can be, they said it can be at any length, any sea level, no matter how deep it is. Okay. All right. And now we're going to paint these patches on the dog's ear and the one by the eye. So let's get started. So, all right. Let's see here. All righty. All right, here we go. Okay. I'm gonna paint this up. And this is definitely brown. Okay. Okay. And of course, she would also work slave labor. But guess what? There was a twist that Mary came up with. She thought since she was working over 100 hours, she demanded that she gets paid minimum wage. She just came right out and said it. And of course, she figured out that she was not working volunteer hours. She would be working manual hours. So she figured that out and started to demand that she gets paid minimum wage, which any union would do. Now with the mafia, they would give them not full salary. They would actually give them a salary. How much? Not that much, but I would assume it'd be more than what Scientology gets. I'll look it up. Should have looked it up before I came on, but what can you do? So, okay. All right. Yeah, she really came right out and said it. Pay me minimum wage. And then her mother would actually know Janice Gillen Grady's mother. Of course, that's blocked out of my head since I have ADHD. But I assume that her mother did know Janet Gillen Grady's mother. Something's coming in. Anyway, she just had the guts to just come out and just fight right back. And of course, years later, she would be out that disgusting cult. And not only people from Scientology would leave, but other members such as John Cedars would also leave Jehovah's Witness. That's right. Jehovah's Witness is a cult. So, okay. Yeah. So John, who he was an elder at the time when he decided to actually started asking questions about things that looked so off from his church to an original church. Now, original church doesn't treat people harshly, even though he never really, I don't think he really saw efficient evidence that they were, but he knew something was up when children were getting assaulted and it came out in droves, which is the reason why he left. All right. And the fact that it didn't appear to look like a controlled environment since everybody went home at the end of every worship hours. So there, it would take people years to put that together because other cults would never let members leave. Of course, Jehovah's Witness did. So it would take years for people in that place of worship to actually leave because it's usually wasn't obvious. Okay. So he found that out. And then he actually took the Jehovah's Witness Bible and compared it with the original literature of the Holy Bible and compared the two. He thought it was a little off since he saw that there were a little bit more in there than he originally thought. So, okay. And then once he pieced it together, he just started the process of leaving. He would actually step down from being an elder of the church. He tells his other elders that he was going to step down from the church. Okay. So he did that. And okay. And he just one day just exited from that church. And of course, other people lately won't question the Holy Bible. But on the internet, truth came out that portions of the Bible is missing because throughout the years, groups like Jehovah's Witnesses and sometimes the church themselves in the Vatican thought, oh man, this is just so evil, let's just take it out. There it was. Now, how did the information come about? In 1946, they found out that in the earlier years, an indigent servant came upon written materials that was supposedly from the Bible. Okay. So, and in 1946, they found out, in this country at least, that it came out piece by piece out of the Bible. But other countries, did they act? And in other countries like Europe would actually also do the same thing. Now, if somebody sees this, of course, it would be on other internets as well. So, alrighty. All right. Okay. So, and so that's, and half of the written materials ended up in Ethiopia and in 2 books. One of them was the Jubilee. Now, nobody's going to want to believe that it came out of that book because everybody in the Vatican and other churches would say, oh boy, it's evil. It's no way it's going to come out of the Bible. That would be the normal reaction of a church. So, okay. And, okay. And, of course, is it a cult? Because no, there's no extreme means of them performing harsh and controlling manners. So no. Technically, it's not. But the fact that they would use a Christmas tree and Easter eggs that were formerly pagan decorations, and I would suggest otherwise, but you know what? We did. We literally stole Christmas. I'm sorry to say. So it doesn't matter whether they used it as transition. The wreath and the Christmas tree is still pagan decorations. We literally stole Christmas. That's the way it is. I'm sorry to say. So, yeah, the truth does hurt. It hurt me a lot because I believed that I was living a lie. Now, I don't know what everybody else believes, but Do they attend? Does churches lie? No, not intentionally, because they're meant to be there in peace. Are there judging people? No, not intentionally. Even though everybody judges cautiously and uncautiously, I even do it. Families do it. Some of them judge people harshly, and sorry to say, so does the churches when they bring up some other forms of religions, like, say, Buddhism. Now, there's no proof that they're an evil religion. There's no proof. I mean, there could be cult-like organizations that use Buddha for that reason. But otherwise, their place of worship would be a peaceful one. So, you know what? They don't do it intentionally. So are they a cult? I don't think so, because they are not a controlled environment, and they don't use harsh extremes or tactics. So, no, I don't think so. So I never experienced that. And they certainly don't have members leaving the church through a trunk of the car like Valerie Haney did. Now, if you're interested in watching it, go to the bar above and type in 60 minutes and Valerie Haney. 60 minutes plus Valerie Haney. Press enter and her name will come up. So, all righty. All right. Now, okay. Now, people leave cults because it would be a harsher environment, and they would start to think, is this really a religion? Since they treat me like crap, literally. Yes. So, let's see here. Okay. Now I'm gonna switch over. See, there it is. There's the brown spot. And I'm gonna come over to this eye right here and start painting it. Yeah. But the normal ones don't think they're hurting anyone or gossiping or, yeah. They do it unconsciously. They don't mean anything by it. So we all intend to do that. I'm sorry to say, yeah, it's a harsh truth, but it's true. I'm sorry, but we all gossip cautiously and unconsciously. So no one's an innocent victim. So I'm sorry, everyone. So, oh boy, I'm really seeing this. Yeah, the reason why I'm not using it using my glasses right now is because I can really see what I'm painting, and I'm not painting the outline. I'm actually painting the picture. So here we go. And because, you know what? The church's treatment of the LGBTQ community, even though I haven't seen my church do it, because I'm not going to say something that I have no knowledge about. So I haven't heard my church say anything about the LGBTQ community, but other churches have. You're judging them really harshly. I'm sorry to tell you all. You are all doing it unconsciously. You don't mean anything by it, but you are hurting them. So try and get to know a person first before you call them any names or call them perverts or misogynists, because not all of them are. Sorry to tell you. So, but yeah, everybody judges people harshly or cautiously or unconsciously. That's one example. So, and of course, as you know, the church is declining in numbers, and I brought it other times in my streams. Do I like it? No, because I want people to go to a place of worship that they feel comfortable with. So we all have to lighten up and fix our behavior, including me. So I'm not going to come out and judge a person from the LGBTQ community. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Years ago, I did exactly what the church is doing. I was judging the LGBTQ community harshly. I never should have done that. What made me change my mind? One day I saw a gay guy cry. And of course, it just hit me right here. And I was thinking, oh my God, how could I say such a thing and do such a thing? So I never said anything directly to him, but I somehow figured out that he was gay. But no, he never said anything to me, but a guy cried. But other men tend to be so macho about it. But I feel that gay men are so beautiful. Some of them are actually so beautiful that they pour their heart out like that. And I was thinking, oh my God, who am I to judge? Always speak the truth. Truth will set you free. I felt like since I came out with the truth, I felt like it set me free. But years I decided to treat them like normal people, like I see every day, whether I like them or not. So far, I liked all the gay people that came in front of me, the gays and lesbians that came in front of me. I really did like it. And the two biggest ones that I have a crush on is Serge Demaret, Dan Waxel. I think the cutest gay guys on earth. And I really liked them a lot. And I'm not no way going to say horrible things to them. And I'm going to accept them as people. And if you're treating the LGBTQ community badly, look into your heart and see what kind of damage it's causing. Now, some people are not that bad because once they found out, they are sympathetic towards it and change their pattern. That's what I did. Because when you come into this world, you are taught that a certain behavior is not appropriate, and the LGBTQ community will be one of them, but no. They do not have all of the information because some of them are the nicest people in the world. So take a step back and find out what you're doing wrong and what people told you in the past. If you think when you look at them and the way they're treating you with respect, think, oh my God, these people are wrong. What were they telling me when they were growing up? My parents, my friends. Yeah, just say, no, well, it looks like what I did was unacceptable and what they're doing now is unacceptable. So, and that's what L. Ron Hubbard did throughout his life. He was judging people harshly. He was telling everybody that gays, lesbians, homosexual, and everybody in the LGBTQ community have perversion. No, not all of them did. Some of them are fine. Okay, maybe some of them are a little off, and behave badly, but no, there are other good portions of them that treat people with respect. So you treat people the way you want to be treated. So I just, you know what, changed my mind, looked into my heart and said, Lisa, don't do that anymore. And it just moved me when he started crying. And I changed my attitude towards it from there when I saw that person cry. I thought, you know what? That is just so beautiful. Of course, I decided, okay, I'm going to get to know this person a little bit more better. He had a beautiful spirit. Is he perfect like the rest of us? No. We are not all perfect. So now, and I'm gonna stay this way for the rest of my life. I am not going to change my mind. I'm going to accept the LGBTQ community as people, and I'm going to treat them like human beings. I am not going to treat them horribly. I'm going to treat them the same way that they would treat me, like everybody else. That will be the end of it. Now, people in the past did that I actually liked did that. I got up and walked away. And one of them addressed them, but I certainly didn't want to fight in public, so I kept it to myself. But if it came up in topic on why I left, then yeah, I would have told her. And if she mentioned the Bible, I would have said, well, it also says to judge a person's beauty and not to judge them harshly. And that's what they were doing. Now, when they said in the Bible, when it said thou shalt not judge. It means don't judge them harshly and get to know their character first. That's what Jesus wants. Jesus never said don't treat them badly. Of course, the Bible, I'm sorry to tell you, the Bible has been changed so many times. Is it a deliberate attempt to actually behave badly? No. It's yeah, it was an attempt to actually treat people badly. Portions of the time, yes, it's going to treat people with respect. Of course, the Bible wasn't meant to hurt people. It was meant to help them. But we find out the truth when it all comes out of the internet, because guess what? That's the worst place you can keep a secret, because it spreads like wildfire. Now, how did the truth come out? You know what? I should do the research about that and then tell you. But is the regular church a cult? No, it isn't. Because you can walk out of there whatever they want. They don't come up with harsh tactics. They don't abuse people. No, it's certainly not a cult. So, all right. Okay. So, now, are all religions who are just practitioners evil? Not necessarily. Because there are practitioners that are not evil. Some of them came out of the church, some of them came out of other religions, but no, not necessarily. So, I used to date a practitioner. Well, I went on one date with him. He read the Bible from beginning to end. And I asked if he went to church. He said no, but he sat in his apartment reading the Bible. So I would assume that he is a practitioner. So, and he doesn't judge other religions harshly. So, okay. All right. And why didn't I get married? Well, I wanted to have 4 kids and 2 dogs. I love animals. I love children. But it never really happened for me. So I just learned to accept that. Although I don't know what else is going to happen in the future, whether I'm going to get married older or me not being married at all. And I keep thinking to myself, you know what? Either way, Nisa, it's going to be fine. But do I think so? No. Because I wanted those things. And it's not fair that everybody else has it, but not me. But do I adjust to it? Yes. I keep telling myself, Nisa, it'll be okay. Even though it's not fair, but maybe I'll get a dog in the future. But it also, A dog costs just as much as a human child. So, okay. All right. Now I'm gonna actually make more brown color. Okay. Oh, a dry thing came out of there. Okay, well. All right. So, all righty. Here we go. Okay. Making more. And now I'm going to grab my knife, plastic knife, and stir it up. All right. It's going to be an orange color. Okay. All righty. Okay. Now. Okay. All right. Now that I learned to accept people as they are, you should too. Now, you're not doing it intentionally sometimes, but let's just try it. That would include the church. Nobody's immune. Not even me. That's the truth. No one's immune from any kind of trouble. So it can be almost anybody. All right. I'm going to make more brown colors. Okay. Yeah. But the cult would be the worst at judging, having extreme tactics. Yeah. And does Jenna Elfman come up with extreme tactics? You know what? I can't say, but her past words was telling me, oh no, well, she's tolerating whatever it is. Either that, she doesn't know it's happening, but she's defending the church or whatever it is they call it, and said that, oh, we're misunderstood. No, you're not misunderstood. Because a lot has come out on the internet that says otherwise. The violence, the lies that came out of Scientology says otherwise. Because guess what? The protesters end up getting hurt. Not the other way around. Because guess what? I thought that they didn't do anything wrong at first and went along with what they said. But guess what? I saw whatever it is I saw on the internet, and Yeah, I mean, that did it for me. So I started siding with the protesters and people who had problems with them in the past, because they don't treat their neighbors really well. So okay. So wasn't very good at all. So, and I saw the truth for what it is. Because guess what? Now that the internet is out in a newer day and age where the internet's around, each and every truth comes out. And plus, not only truth comes out, but other secrets come out. So if you have a secret and don't want that secret to come out, don't take it to the internet. Of course, there might be incidences where the truth comes out and people are not aware that they're in front of the internet and it's broadcasting. I don't know. But is it happening to me? You know what? I have no idea. So, and if it comes out, would I care? Well, yes and no. Even if the truth comes out, sometimes it will be okay and sometimes it won't. If it's not that bad, then we have nothing to worry about. But sometimes, yeah, it just blows up so much that you tend to be embarrassed. But then after a while, it would be okay. So, okay. So, okay, it's almost been an hour. So of course, you know that I'm certainly going to make more changes to my channel. What? Yeah, there are some improvements that I would have to make. I see it. And I have to learn to adjust to it. It's going to give me a little bit more time since I have ADHD. Yeah. Maybe I'm not more able, but I have the disability, and learn to adjust to that everyday life with navigating. So I'm using navigations to actually get around the world. And not anyone, especially Scientology, is going to convince me otherwise. So I'm going to continue to navigate my way through life. And Audit LA is really the person I look up to most. I mean, she is really getting out there and showing every single person out there, including me, that it's okay to be less than perfect, because you're not perfect. No one's perfect. And there's going to be something wrong with us. Me, I had it all my life. And Audit LA is in the wheelchair, but getting out there into the world and being independent and navigating in everyday life, which is great. And she proves every day that you can You can be an everyday warrior just by overcoming any obstacles that is coming your way. Mona does it. And other people who have the disability, like me, Nora has ADHD. Of course, she didn't know about it until she was older because Scientology rejected psychiatry, and she could have found out about it earlier if they didn't stand in her way. So, and she did come out, said she does have it. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm gonna actually paint this on like that. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so paint this around. All right. And well, I'm gonna get ready to wind it down soon. Okay. There it is. It's not from a distance now. And then, oh, jeez. Had a little sweet tooth earlier. I'm getting a little bit of a tummy ache, but I'll fix that. I never should have said that, but okay. Do I want to say what I feel? No, because that came out by accident. So, and on YouTube, when they were talking about how to improve, yeah, don't bring up personal comments like, oh, it's a hot day, or I got a tummy ache, or yeah, that. But yeah, I did accidentally. So not accidentally, but but I'm gonna try not to do it again. All right. Now I'm gonna paint on a little bit of the black when I put streaks in this. And then I'm gonna put the black streaks in there. All right, and then I'm gonna paint the ears black. And then this one is gonna have streaks in it. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. There. All right, and now I'm going to put in the black streaks. All right. Okay. Oh. All right. And it looks like I'll be painting in the edges right now. Now, does it really exactly have to look the same as the picture? No, especially a paint, because it has to be your creativity, not anyone else's. So, all right. So there we go. All right. And then I'm going to put this right in the middle of the vase there. Now I am gonna paint in the black. Now I'm gonna use, I think I'll use the smaller brush, but if it doesn't work, then well, at least I tried. So, alrighty, here we go. So, all right, there we are. We're painting. Where the streaks are. Okay. So, okay, there we go. I'm almost halfway done. Now, there's one thing that's always going to be staying the same. I'm going to talk about other cults, and I'm still going to be in the kitchen and staying at my crafts table while talking about Scientology. That's never going to change. So, oh, no. That's never going to change. That's the only thing that's never going to change. So, and I will tell the monologues. That's never going to change. Which, yeah, it's going to be funny. Like the one I just recently came up with, Can. And what else? And I will tell regular stories. Now, am I going to bring up the church from time to time? Yes. Is it going to be harshly? No. I'm not going to be critical, and I'm not going to be talking harshly about the churches, because they didn't really do anything that bad. And I hate to tell you, churches are not perfect either, and they're going to admit that. They're going to admit that they made mistakes. They're going to make mistakes too. So they are not meant to do evil things. So, Okay. All right, there we go. And here it is. All right. Now, okay. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. All right. There. Now, is the paint a little bit thick on this thing? Yes, it is. Hate to admit it, but it is. Alrighty. Now, today is Friday, and you know today was Arts and Crafts Day here in Human Animal Audit Corner. I made some changes to my channel. And let's see here. Okay. And since I made those changes, things have been going pretty good. My views have shot way up. Now, am I sharing this news to show off? A little bit, but if you do this, I'm trying to give an example. Your views will go up a little if you make a little change to the name. Because not only am I bringing some animal stories up, I couldn't find enough of them. So I was doing the best I can in finding them while I'm talking about other human rights issues. So I decided to call it Human Animal Audit Corner. That's how I came about changing the name, because I had to admit that I was bringing up more human rights issues than animal rights issues. And guess what? I will find more animal rights issue in the future. And I am going to actually do another, let's see, Scientology versus the mafia with the treatment of animals. So that's going to be the next story I'll be doing. All right. The dog's eyes is like a little dark to light brown. So I am trying to get it in there. So. And of course, there is a hint of white in there, of course. So, all righty, there we go. Okay. Now, as you know, this weekend tomorrow is Valentine's Day. And of course, I'll be cooking right on that day for you and that special love of yours. and giving you that recipe, whether it's your first time out of the cult or after years of coming out of the cult. And of course, you guys who never been in cults can join in as well. So, alrighty, here we go. I'm going to paint this. Okay. Now, this is just so therapeutic that it just relaxes you and relaxes you. Now, I have done it all along. I've done this ever since I was a teenager, but I didn't do more of it until I was well into my adulthood. So, and of course, I definitely am working on my eBay store where I'm going to put up all my vases on sale. And I have other affiliates that I'm going to turn into a store from eBay and other sites. So keep your eye open for my stores. So, all right. I think probably this should do it. All righty. Okay. Well, and next week I'm going to be painting on the white. All right. So there it is. And guess what? An hour and 12 minutes came and gone like that. And of course, all Scientologists that I'm calling out to you in the end, the Aftermath Foundation and the SPTV Foundation is waiting for you in the outside world, and the protesters are out there for you in the outside world. I'm even giving you the opportunity to actually go on a library without anyone knowing that you did it. Now, I don't know what kind of trust they give to you. Maybe it's not obvious. I don't know. But the Aftermath Foundation and the SPTV Foundation is waiting for you in the outside world. The Aftermath Foundation's number is 1-888-FREE-002. That's 1-888-FREE-002. And the SPTV Foundation would be at the SPTV Foundation at area code 727-266-5797. Press the 1, then dial 727-266-5797, and that would be to the SPTV Foundation. But the Aftermath Foundation's at FREE-002. That's 888-FREE-002. Now, they're going to be there helping you in the outside world. And there will be protesters out there for you, guiding you to get those monetary aids, like Stephen did with his young friend when he gave him monetary aid to go home when he got out of Scientology or kicked out of Scientology. It's all due because of his sexuality, which wasn't right. So, remember, everybody in Scientology, all the Scientologists who's in Scientology, everybody's waiting here in the outside world. And next time, I'm going to bring you the Mafia versus, or Scientology versus the Mafia. Since I didn't do enough animal rights stories, I decided to do that, and I'll do other cults that has cruel treatment towards animals. So, and if you want to contribute to my channel, go to PayPal. And if you want to keep my channel going, it's up to you. The amount you want to pay me is in your hands, not mine. And buy me a coffee. I am trying to work on that. I don't know what's going on. So I have to actually, somebody there reached out to me, but I'm forgetting how to run that whole thing. But yeah, I'm going to get back to her about that. So, but for now, go to my PayPal, and that's in your hands. You can pay me whatever amount you might make to keep my channel going. And hit the like, press subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Oh, geez. Oh, my gosh. Oh, here it is. Oh, God. Okay.